What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another live edition where Don't Make It Weird is teaming up with the Lost Boys Press to bring you an incredible conversation about their book, Chimera. And here to absolutely mess up the name of this book because she is still not over the name she thinks it should be is my co-host, Dinosaurus. What's up, Dina?
It is Chimera, and I will die on this hill.
Listen, the folks at home, you know who can settle this? You know who can settle this? The Queen herself. Co-founder of Lost Boys Press. Editor of Lost Boys Press. Author of The Garden of the Golden Children. Ashley Hutchison. What's up, Ashley?
Hey. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. And, even though you guys can't see his pretty face, the third member of the Don't Make It Weird team, producer Sean is back here, going to be the voice of God for all of us. What's up, Sean?
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Man, I am so excited. So for those that haven't tuned in, that don't have an idea of what Chimera is about, it is, in their words themselves, welcome to a world where myths and legends collide to create a new breed of monster. In this anthology, talented writers weave together 10 tales of feral and fantastical beasts. Savage and soulful, these monstrosities combine to form the mighty Chimera. We have a lot of great authors and a lot of great people that are going to be joining us over the course of this show. Even though not all of them can make it, the featured stories in this book are by Matt Bliss, Jaecyn Boné, Alexis L. Carroll, Chris Durston. Do it! Damn it! I knew it. I knew I was going to do this. Dewi Hargreaves.
You tried.
I tried so hard. I was so ready. Stephen Howard, Samuel Logan, Vincent Metzo, and Brayden Roll, as well as Michelle Tang. We have a lot of great authors here, and I probably just offended all of them, guys.
Probably.
So this might be a very, very short thing. So Ashley, talk to me a little bit about how this book came together, how we set it all up, and what was the inspiration behind bringing together fantastic beasts in an anthology?
Well, when we first set up the publishing company, Lost Boys Press, Chad and I discussed the possibility of doing anthologies. And so I kind of toyed around with a few ideas, and like the extreme planner that I am, I came up with about 10 and had to decide which would be the first one. And Chimera was the one that we agreed to be the debut. I just thought it would be so fun to see what it would be like to have stories that can do monster mashups. What can we expect from that? What can we explore with that?
And I just want you to know that the other member, the handsome devil himself, the fuck squid of Lost Boys, Chad Ryan, is in the chat here today, ladies and gentlemen. And he's put in parentheses extreme planner, Ashley. I think he's trying to bait you.
He can't bait me. He knows I'll beat him up.
Now, Dina, I know that you were. How well would you say that you kind of prepare yourself? Like, how good are you at horror stories, like as an audience, as a reader?
So I have my sword prepared for whatever happens today because I don't like horror. All the doors are closed and I'm fully prepared.
Did you turn all the lights on?
Yes, all of them. Every single one.
And astute followers of our show will see that Dina's got a teal sword, again, keeping in a very specific theme.
Yep. It's on brand.
Very on brand. And speaking of pleasant aesthetics, I am a huge fan of Lost Boys covers. Between Ghost River by Chad Ryan, A Garden of the Golden Children, A Map to the Stars, and Not Meant for Each Other, as well as Chimera. You guys have some kind of unique and fun covers. How'd you guys design those, come up with those,
Well, for Garden and Map, we worked with an artist in the UK, Neely Pearson, who's absolutely brilliant. And because we knew that we'd never be able to come up with a great concept for either of those books without some kind of artistic help. And as for our anthologies, we sourced and licensed images, and then Chad got into Photoshop, Adobe InDesign stuff, and played around with those images and created what you see on the anthologies. And with Ghost River, we actually went with Micah, well-known Twitter guy, who worked with Chad on that. I think they went through several possible mock-ups for Ghost River to try and get the tone and the feel right before they finally settled on what it became, and it's perfect.
Chad says that there was approximately 28,765 mock-ups to get to that final.
Well, I mean, and honestly, Dina should be happy with what it became, because if she had seen what Chad sent me, the one that he did himself, she would never be able to look at it or at Chad in the eye. Get
everything in me as is to get through, like, because I'm so scared of everything. Like, that thing went in the freezer so many times. It's just.
I mean, that's all you can do. Sorry, Bob.
I imagine like a crude crayon drawing on a napkin.
Oh no, it was
the Cookie Monster eating like another creature or something.
No, it was some kind of ghoulish looking creature, like black and white. It just was disturbing.
Oh my. I mean, listen, and he's got a lot. We're not going to turn this into the Chad Ryan show. I'm not going to talk about Ghost River, as terrifying and horrifying and beautifully written as it was. But let me say, one of the other things before we get into bringing in our first author, one of the things that I remember you told all this about when we were talking about Not Meant for Each Other was how difficult it was to pare down and to get to these 10 stories. What was the process like to get to these finalists?
Horrible. I hate telling people who are putting their dreams and their hopes in my hands that, this is not the right story for us and not the right story for the anthology or what we're looking for. It never gets any easier as we go. But I knew quite instinctively when I read these stories that these were the ones that I wanted to go with. It wasn't. It was clearer to me than it was for Not Meant for Each Other. I think that with Chimera, I saw these stories immediately, and there were some in Not Meant for Each Other that I knew immediately too. I wanted for there, but with Chimera, it felt clear and very instinctual.
So you kind of just saw them from across the room. You and the story's eyes met, and you said,
"Love at first sight."
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Oh man. I mean, so I guess for what I thought was so unique about this, and one more, we'll each get one more before we kind of get into the actual stories, is that we saw some familiar kind of the cryptids, of the mythological creatures, but this brought us a lot of different and unique monsters or animals, if you are, positive about the cryptids, that you don't normally see in a lot of writing. Was that something that you were looking for, or did that just happen organically?
I mean, I don't think that we set out any sort of like baseline where we wanted obscure kind of pairings, but I was absolutely delighted when they came in, because several of them forced me to research, and I love anything that forces me to research because I like to learn. So
That's awesome. And man, we've got a great chat going right now. My girl Amber's here, so if I clam up and I can't say anything, you guys understand why. I get incredibly nervous around her.
You cannot have Amber, Daniel. She is mine and my soulmate, and that's it.
Wait.
We will. Okay, I'm going to lose that fight. So yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so,
look at the chat. She says,
Amber was
Ashley,
mine.
my love. No, Amber and I are getting married.
Oh, I'm her
That is
life
it.
and you're her love. I'll take that. That's fair.
Okay.
There is no such thing as a love triangle. I don't believe in love triangles. So anyone trying to insinuate that this is the start of one, all right, it's
Dodecahedron.
ridiculous.
No,
All right,
we're
guys.
we're the triad.
We didn't point out Ashley and I's matching shirt.
Oh my gosh, you guys do have matching shirts, and I forgot. So guys, that's where the murderers are going to be. All right, guys, it is time to kick this party off and bring on our very first guest. Stephen Howard, come on down.
Come on down. Oh, I didn't realize they were already here.
Stephen, welcome.
Hello. All right, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, man. How's
Loud
it
and clear.
going?
Excellent. Yeah, good. Very good. Thank you. How's everyone?
Good.
Killing it.
Oh man, so you're one of the
Excellent.
UK authors. That means it's like 2 a.m. right now, isn't it?
1:10.
Well,
Yeah.
appreciate you being
Daniel's not
awake
good
for
at
us.
math.
I am not good at math. I
it's
just
all
kind of
right.
threw a number out there and hoped it stuck.
I've got the time difference on my phone on like open on Safari to make sure that I've had it like drilled into my mind
That's
all day.
hilarious.
Oh man, well thank you so much for coming on the show, and we're excited for you to kick this off because you kick off the entire book too. So talk to us. Did you already have your story? Loomis Creek is it Loomis or Loomis? I should have asked that.
Loomis.
I'm so sorry. You'll notice for all of our other
sorry.
guests, I am terrible at all names. So yell at me the minute I mess something
He's
up.
so
Yeah, I believe that's a theme. Yeah.
So, all right. Did you already have a story in mind before this prompt was released, or did you kind of come up with it after you saw it?
It mostly came about after I'd seen the prompt. I think I wanted to do like a small town America creature feature type thing anyway, so it was kind of those two, that the prompt coming along at the exact right time for me to then come up with the idea and then just attack it from there. So yeah, it was definitely the prompt that kicked the idea off.
Perfect.
So why did you choose to write about this particular creature, and like what inspired you to go from there after that?
I love all like cryptozoology type stuff. So all those shows where there's a whole host of slightly wild guests that tell you stories about they've been abducted by aliens or they've had Bigfoot encounters. I love the Bigfoot ones especially. So
Basically, anything on
was
the History
quite-
Channel is
Why do you say history?
pretty much, yeah.
because that's all they've turned into. I'm not going to go on a rant. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Is that like when the Discovery Channel just has Mythbusters on back to back and nothing
Yeah,
else
pretty
now?
much.
Like,
It's complete.
yeah.
Hey, I loved Mythbusters back in the day.
Mistbusters, Blood
Yeah.
Mistbusters.
Blood Mythbusters.
All right. And so, without giving away any spoilers, what would you say you want your readers to take away from your story? What kind of feelings, lessons, questions? What do you want them to walk away with?
Mostly it was just having a good time. Like I just wanted it to be like a fun creature feature that hits all the familiar beats that you'd get if you were watching a creature feature film, with a small town, slightly odd cast of characters that pop in and out, someone raving about a monster being disbelieved, a suspicious character coming in who says they can sweep the problem under the carpet. So those kind of things. So I've been watching quite a few like Bigfoot films as well, like Willow Creek and Exists on Shudder. So it was pretty much all the films that you could think of.
So
rolled into this
came-
story.
I mean,
You
and it
definitely
came-
got that small town vibe, like in those through the character development, and everything like that too. So
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad it came across.
I mean, listen, it took Dina like 4 tries to get through your
It
book
did.
because she doesn't do horror. So like
I'm
she was
so
one page
scared
in
of
and she was.
because I
Yeah.
knew what was going to happen, and I was like, "Fuck! Oh my god, freezer!" Like that's all that I can do.
Yeah. It was a constant messaging in our group chat.
So all right. So I've got to ask. So I've got a little bit of a crazy question for you because you've seen all these big Bigfoot things, and I kind of jokingly said it's a little bit where Bigfoot. Can you give us your best Bigfoot call if you were out in the woods and you wanted to find the Bigfoot?
Daniel. I knew there was a reason I was worried about wildcard question on that email.
Always be stressed, man. I'm so sorry.
Well, luckily, since I've seen those shows, they do a very particular kind of call. There was one guy on a show who definitely thought it was going to shout back to him. So,
Those are the best.
well, Here goes.
Oh my god.
Oh. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend's asleep upstairs, so I think she's got
you gotta
earplugs,
be
which is good.
Yeah, if Bigfoot busts into your house right now, like just let us know. We'll send help. All right.
Yeah, I think it'll be
Got a
required.
sword I can send you.
Thank you.
All right. So Dina, do you have any final follow-ups before we get Steven out of here?
I do. What's your favorite form of potato? Go.
Jacket potato.
What does that mean?
Jacket potato. It's a baked potato.
Yeah.
It's loaded.
Baked
does
potato,
that mean?
butter,
Jacket
beans,
potato.
cheese.
I like it. I like
All
it.
right, that's fair. That's a good
All
one.
right,
I
so
just hate that you
guys-
said jacket.
Steven, thank you so much for joining us. You can check out Lomas Creek. Did I get
Loomis.
that right?
Loomis. Oh my
Loomis.
god. It's
I'm
literally
so
so
sorry.
easy to pronounce.
Loomis Creek. You can find that in Chimera. Steven Howard, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Steven.
All right, well, we're off to a roaring start. I've already messed up like 10 names. So, Dina, I think you're going to get this next one, aren't you, buddy?
Up next is my favorite story from the anthology. Do I have to announce it? I don't know what I'm saying.
You can just throw that out there.
Up next, our next guest is Vincent Metzo with My Mother's Daughter. That was perfect timing. Wow.
That was really good.
I'm impressed.
I like the little dance too.
You're welcome.
Hey, Vincent.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Good to see you tonight.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm dying to see what's
now
in the
I'm
background.
No, hold on.
Oh, this
My door
is,
just popped open too. I gotta shut this shit.
This is Second Lieutenant Weaver here, my writing partner.
Oh, he looks like he's in very good health. Everything looks to be in order right here.
Yeah, they've been taking a special regime lately. I think it's somewhere between paleo and no gluten, but it seems to be working.
All right, so you are the author of My Mother's Daughter, and I kind of got to agree with Dina on here. This was probably one of my top favorites.
Did you just forget my name for half a second?
I saw that.
Is that why you
did.
started to repeat?
No. You are attacking me, and I don't appreciate it. We're under a tight schedule, Dina. Be professional.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll get you later.
Because you're always super professional, Daniel.
At all times. All right, so you got My Mother's Daughter. Kind of talk us through, where did this idea come from? Did you have it like kind of locked and loaded in the chamber before you saw the prompt, or was it something that you got afterwards and were like, this would be perfect?
It was a lot of synergy that came together. So I was binge watching Vampire Diaries. Okay, totally admit it. Was really into it, but I grew up in the city. And so that whole football player cheerleader thing, I was like, this doesn't really work for me. So I wrote a screenplay for a graphic novel that took place in an urban environment and used a lot of cryptids, vampires, werewolves, witches stuff. And then when this prompt came along, I already had these characters and this world in mind, but I wanted to dig a little deeper. So I changed the cryptids a little and sort of made it a continuation of that same universe, that same world.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I suck. So you said, okay, so I did kind of get like a little bit of like Vampire Diaries feels and everything like that, but like you like kind of made it your own and like developed these creatures in like a whole new way. Like how did you get from there to the creatures that you actually had? So
when I was writing this, I really, when I write anything, I want to make it sort of believable, possible. Mm-hmm. Right, it's fantastic, but I wanted it to be possible. So in the original piece I wrote, which was called Damn City Journal, the idea was that the witches were basically the first alchemists and scientists. And what they did is they started to breed humans to have different traits, the same way we breed animals. And in this universe, that's how vampires and werewolves came along. So then when I saw the cryptid prompts, I started to dig deeper into that and started to think, well, what other sort of historical precedents are there? And my family's from Spain, so I sort of ended up in this Spanish, Moroccan, North African area, and that's where I found Broxas and Aduls and some of these other cryptids that I realized these are vampire analogs. These are werewolf analogs, and they're almost a little closer that they could be real. And so I ran with that.
And I love that, because one of the things that I would say that I thought was so interesting about the story is that a lot of times when we have this cryptid or supernatural, supposed to be, parallel with the real world, they're held separately. They're held at arm's length. But with yours, it was, no, everyone knows, like, this is, the cryptids are part of the community. Like, people know them. Like, what made you want to come from that point of mesh? It was a series of events. I wrote another piece, which actually is about Maria's mother. So the character in My Mother's Daughter is MJ, which is Maria Jr. So Maria's mother, whose name was Talltree, Maria Talltree, she was very much her story is very much a story of being an outsider, being a cryptid, being a marginalized member of society, and what she went through. And so she's in the military, she goes to school on the VA bill, she becomes a nurse, then she ends up in jail where they experiment on her and she has MJ. And then with this story, I really wanted to pick that up from a more teenage point of view and show, well, what does MJ do now that her mother's dead and she's part of this world where cryptids are marginalized and used for other people's purposes?
I want it all.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there's more to come. It's definitely a world I'm going to keep on exploring and writing in. It's very interesting to me.
That was going to be my follow-up question is, please, God, tell me there's going to be more. Because you can ask Ashley in the chat. I said, out of all of them, and there's some incredible stories in this book. I was like, this was the one where I was like, this could expand into a whole.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
awesome. Sure. Well, thank you very much. I definitely will. I'd be careful about encouraging me because I will definitely go down that road.
All right, Dina, we got time for one last question. Throw him something off the wall. Get crazy with us.
All right, finish this sentence. If you think that's weird, you should see my...
You should see my
we got
jar
props.
of eyeballs.
What the fuck?
Of course he's got a jar of eyeballs.
I think
yes, Vincent.
All right, that's fair. Okay.
Of all the things I did not see coming, this was it.
Not
so,
at
guys,
all.
this has been Vincent Metzo. He wrote My Mother's Daughter in Chimera. Vincent, thank you so much for coming on. I hope we get to see you again soon, man.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. So real quick announcement, everybody in the audience. This is your first chance to win a copy of Chimera in Anthology. You'll see a tweet that went out from @LostBoysPress at 15 minutes after the hour. If you quote tweet that, or if you quote tweet that tweet and add Chimera to the quote tweet, I'll type it in the chat, Chimera, you'll be entered to win a copy of the book.
We do support chimeras here, even though Dina is delusional. So.
Chimera and Chimera are different. Okay? All right,
listen, we can do a Chimera anthology next time. What do you think, Ashley?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. We'll just We'll just add it to the list. I mean, I only have like 20 folders in the drive, maybe for like anthologies.
Perfect. And just in time, maybe our next guest will be ready for number 20. We've got Samuel Logan, and he is the author of The Water Wisp. Samuel, come on down.
So it's actually pronounced Samuel Logon.
I'm dead.
I tried.
And
I
I'm
tried
done.
to
All
tell
right,
him
guys, I
before
quit.
the show. I tried to tell him.
Mr. Logan, I appreciate you joining us today. Oh man, God, now it was already throwing me off. All right, so let's jump straight
Daniel gets
into
really
Water
excited.
Wisps. Tell me, where did this story come from? Did you already have this thing inspired, or is this something that you saw the prompt and started feeling it a little bit?
Yeah, so you kind of caught me. I already mostly had this written when the prompt came out. I really just had to clean up a little bit, make sure some stuff was fitting better with the prompt than it had before. But I've been always pretty fascinated with fairy tales and folklore, and had actually probably 2 years prior gone on a binge of just reading about a whole bunch of. Actually, I brought it. I end up picking this up online, and it's actually literally, it was falling apart when I got it. It's not not in good condition, but it's the Dictionary of Fairies. It's supposed to be is a pretty good. Just about any kind of Western fairy is going to be in there, but I started going through all of them and envisioning how they could be encountered in our world in a maybe a more, I guess, like, yeah, a variation on it, fusing them with animals that we're maybe more familiar with, and how they would come about. So that then led down. I really enjoyed when I put together the jellyfish, the water wisp, and so I decided I wanted to explore that whole concept more and put an actual story together where some travelers happen to run into some.
And I was going to ask just a quick follow-up. What jellyfish hurt you? Because those things are goddamn terrifying.
I finally got to see jellyfish for the first time only like a month ago. My family, we vacationed in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And there's this really awesome aquarium there that had a couple of tanks of jellyfish. And so it was kind of cool to see them actually up close for the first time. But yeah, haven't been hurt by one.
I've been to that aquarium so much. I love that aquarium.
It's amazing. I loved it.
Same here, man. Chattanooga Aquarium, backyard for me, man.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, but don't worry, he doesn't go to the Atlanta Aquarium. Anyway, since he stole my question...
She's not bitter or anything.
Yeah, I'm not bitter at all. Since he stole my question, I was just going to say, what's with the jellyfish, man? Like, I didn't have a fear of them until this story, and, like, you fucked with me, and I didn't appreciate it.
I've gotten that reaction from multiple people that were like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know that these things were so scary. It's like, I mean, yeah, I didn't get too off base with these. I mean, I've never encountered one floating, but nonetheless.
I mean, I would hope you didn't encounter a floating jellyfish in a water orb and, like, didn't tell us about it. That would be
I did. It's in the book.
rude.
Dina's not bitter at all.
I'm still angry about Daniel. I'm sorry.
So again, yeah, no, I bailed on you, the aquarium. But all right, so what made you want to choose the murdery jellyfish, or what was your inspiration behind this specific fairy out of all the ones in your book?
I don't know. I'll be honest. It was a while back when I, first, I don't know, that one's particular, just, it really grabbed me. I had also developed the birds, which their connection to being a fairy is a little bit less obvious, but, and I developed a handful of other ones. One of the ones I really liked that I didn't end up messing with was, I called it a zephyr, and it was this antelope deer type thing that has some amount of control over the winds. And so if you encountered a herd, you wouldn't even know you would notice the sudden rushing winds to the forest before you even knew that the zephyrs were there. But there's and so that's actually another one I thought about playing with, and I'd even considered throwing it into that story, but I also didn't want to do too much, in one little story. So I don't know. I guess I just really wanted to mess with Dina's head. So
Apparently, yeah. Everybody in
Sam,
this
I like
entire
you.
anthology wanted to just screw with me.
All right, so we got time for one more question. Dina, time to get him back. What do you got for us?
If you get stung by a jellyfish, are you supposed to pee on it?
I've heard that you are supposed to, and enough TV shows have told me that you're supposed to, that I definitely would.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't pee on your jellyfish. I actually don't know the real answer,
Would
but I
you
feel like we
let
shouldn't.
Bigfoot?
It's actually a myth.
Would you let
is it?
Bigfoot? Yeah.
Pee might even worsen the sting, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Please don't do that then.
All right. Well, then, better not do it.
There, that was my revenge.
All right, Sam, thank you so much for joining and making sure that I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but Samuel Logan,
Samuel?
the otter of...
Samuel, log
Otter,
on.
I just said otter.
Samuel.
I just said otter.
Log on.
Lugan.
Yep, Samuel Logan. You can find his story, The Water Wisps, in Chimera. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Sam.
you.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.
All right, we're off to a great start. Man, that was good, though. That was good. All right, here's my next major challenge. Here's my next test. For our next contributor, we have Brayden Roll. What's up, Brayden?
You
Nailed
got it.
it.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Hey, I think I need to hold on. I think I need to close. Yeah,
He has
one
the
sec.
audience link open
It's
in the
fine.
background, so he's hearing the echo of
Oh,
us
that's
twice.
hilarious.
Hi.
Brayden,
That'll-
welcome.
that'll
no.
screw with you.
But you can find his book, The Children of Blood, inside Chimera. And Brayden, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Killing it.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Dina's ready for questions, making sure that I'm not stealing any from her this time. Dina, why don't you lead us off with a hard hitter?
I didn't know I was supposed to go first.
I'm just messing with you, Dina. Brayden, talk to us about where you came up with this story. Is this something that happened organically or something that the prompt inspired?
So I kind of always go into these things wanting to write something off the cuff. I had just come off of reading Ghost River, and
That explains
And
so
Chad,
much. That explains so
I
much.
knew it. I told
Yeah,
Chad
right?
when I read Braden's story that it was clearly a love song to Ghost River. I was like, "This is that's how I described it to him."
So I literally just finished it. I don't know, weeks before Chad was like, "Hey, did you know we were doing this?" And I didn't even know that you guys were taking submissions. And I was like, "No," and I didn't know if I'd even have time to submit. But I was like, "Okay, this sounds awesome. If I'm going to do this, I want to come up with 2 monsters to mash up that no one else is going to do." And I still wasn't even that successful at it, which is a testament to the other contributors, I think. But yeah, so I just tried to come up with 2 really obscure creatures and go with it.
Now that I know that there's a Ghost River connection, I got the wild card question, Dina. Why don't you get the next one?
I just want to talk about creature development and I mean, you already said why you picked them because of Ghost River, but no, I don't know because I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get scared.
Oh, I mean, I didn't pick them because of Ghost River.
So,
So
okay, go with it. Explain that, why you chose those and everything like that.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to remember now how this story came together. When I came up with Changeling, I had also been working on something on the side that I'm actually not allowed to talk about. But there was something that I was developing for it that got cut and that I really liked. And I mean, you guys have all read it, but the Daneslef part that I really only give you a taste of, I'd written probably hundreds of words. And that's when I decided, okay, wait a second. What if I go this Changeling route? And I remember saying to my wife, okay, mimic Changeling. What if a woman is giving birth and then her Changeling child just opens its stomach up into a just pile of teeth and devours? And that didn't happen in the story, obviously, but yeah, that's kind of how it came to be.
I'm quitting.
Good. Now
quitting.
Dina's going to leave the show. Look at she's
Hugging her sword.
triggered. Yeah,
That's how you know she's
triggered,
scared. That's
she's
her
hurting,
comfort sword.
I saw she grabbed the sword before I even
Yeah,
went for
I
the
feel
razor
like-
teeth.
No. Daniel, go ahead.
All the lights are still on, Dina, right?
So what would you say?
Yes.
So without giving away like any spoilers or anything, what do you want readers to walk away from your story? Like, what's the feeling? What's the message? Or do you just want them to have the Dina reaction of, well, F this, I'm just going to
And if
put
that's
this in
the
the
case,
freezer?
fuck you.
No, but that's a common reaction, Dina. My stepfather, or not, my father-in-law literally had to set the book down.
Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of a very common theme in everything I write. I want readers to come away with the feeling that even if you, there's my cat. I told you he might join.
Yeah, we love them.
Even
We
if
support them here.
you do your best, you may be in a situation that's completely out of your control, and you didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I know that sounds like a really weird message to take from my story, but I try to present heroes that are doing everything they can, and I often put them in situations that they cannot win. I don't know why that is, but
Good. So we're going to walk away feeling sad and depressed. All right, so I got time for one more question, and I'm stealing this one from Dina, especially because of Ghost River. How would your changeling / mimics handle an encounter with a fuck squid?
And go.
squid. How would they handle it? Like champions? No, I think it would be a highly charged encounter. We'll leave it at that.
What an interesting.
Highly charged. Yeah, I was going to say,
What an interesting word
breed
Daniel
those
drinks.
words a little bit.
I don't know who's tuning in from my family.
Well, then, if any of your family are tuning in, I'm so sorry to put them on the
If
spot
it's
like
your
that.
mom watching, I'm
I'm a
very
jerk.
sorry that I said that's what
I'm
she
a jerk,
said.
but I do.
It's okay.
But you know what?
I'm
I do
sorry.
want you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, baby.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Braden's family. I didn't mean it. All right, man. Well, we are so excited, especially your side project that you can't talk about, because after reading the story, I definitely want to get some more of Braden in my life. So, guys, you can check out The Children of Blood on Chimera. Braden, thank you
Please
so
do.
much for joining us today, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
We are flying through guests, man. That is the hardest part about trying to keep on schedule, is that we've only got like 5 minutes with each of these guests, and I want like
They
a
could
half
always
hour
come
with
on
them.
the show.
Producer Sean, can we just
Yeah.
book all of them? Yeah, can we just book every one of these guests for
We
the
could
Don't
see
Make It
about
Weird
that. We
podcast?
could look into it.
But we are doing really good.
Yeah, yeah, no, don't worry. And I'm sure that I will absolutely slow us down with our next guest, Matt Bliss. Matt Bliss, what's going on, buddy? Come on down. He is the author of
Is
The
it still
Nights
light
I
out
Die.
where you
What's
are?
going on, guys? Yeah, it's still light out. I'm here in Vegas.
Oh,
So
okay. I forgot
still
that
have,
was. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
a few more
Time
hours
zones
are a thing,
left.
Dina.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's still
time
light in
travel,
California,
not
too.
time zones.
We've got another desert dweller. Chad is feeling right at home right now,
Good. We
man.
need more desert folk out there.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for having a name that I can't possibly mess up. I really
Yeah, you're
appreciate
What if we
that.
call them mate?
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, mate,
Bliss.
Bliss.
Oh, Dina.
Bliss. I've actually, believe it or not, I've heard that one before.
Goodness.
No, someone hasn't
I
called you
swear,
Bliss.
man, it happened.
Dear
No
Lord.
way.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Matt, you have the story The Nights I Die. Tell us the inspiration about this story, because this is a really unique one, especially compared to a lot of the other stories on here.
Yeah, I didn't have a story beforehand. It was once I saw that prompt, I wanted to go with zombie. I'm obsessed with zombies, and just thinking about what to cross it with, werewolf came to mind, and immediately I jumped in and started writing. And basically that intro you see to the story, is what I wrote immediately after
Good
reading
intro.
that prompt. I let that I let that marinate a few days and went back, and I loved it so much. I just I based the rest of the story around that, really.
Wait, did you ask a question already, Daniel?
Yes, Dina. You can tell my co-host Dina doesn't love me. Doesn't pay attention to me. It's okay.
Matt was just talking completely unprompted.
I got
He just
distracted
decided
with
to start
the- with
talking.
the-
There was no
distracted
question.
with the beeping.
Yeah, I was laughing at the chat and the beeping, and then Amber came in, and I was like, "Hey,
My
okay."
wife.
It was such a good intro. And everyone-
Shame. Shame.
So you had a very interesting take on werewolves because you cross them with zombies and everything like that. Had you ever written anything like about werewolves before? Like, was this the first experience? How did you develop those creatures into that?
Yeah, this was really my first time writing anything about either werewolves or zombies. But the idea of taking a zombie and combining it with a werewolf to the point where, every full moon, once a month, if you were living with this, you'd have to die. Every full moon, you'd have to feel what it goes through to die and watch this other take control, and what would that be like? What would it feel like if that were you? And that's really just what I wanted to dive into and really explore more of.
And that's a really good one because, like, I'll tell you what, that was the scariest part to me because, we've seen every version of the zombie horror, but the whole being a passenger in your own body, like, again, not trying to give away spoilers, but, when he kills people, he can't even look away. He can't close his eyes. He can't shut off. He has to see, feel, and experience everything. And to me, that was
the only part that didn't scare me,
Cool,
Daniel.
yeah.
We found my name.
Oh, good.
Oh, Dina.
So, I mean, like, what made you want to come at it from that angle of the lack of control?
The idea of having to be a passenger and watch this other self take control, I mean, really, that's kind of the basis of the story is, holding in this secret, holding in what he really is on the inside, and the inability to really connect with people because of that. I mean, meanwhile, that's what, you desperately want is just that human interaction, but it's the only thing you can't do. And just adding that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde almost kind of added a little bit more to that. And it was real fun to explore.
For sure.
So, and again, there's a different tone in the ending than there is from the beginning of the book. And that was kind of rare for the stories in here. What made you kind of want to give a different tone to a zombie type of story?
So when I write, I go into a bit of a fugue state and just hopefully my fingers can keep up with the story that's going in my head. And that one, I outlined it. Yeah, I outlined it a whole nother way. But when I dived in and I was writing, it just felt right, and the story went in that direction. So I steered into it and just kind of went with it. And it was probably one of the most satisfying endings I've ever written. And I love it. I'm happy.
Yeah, that last line really got me as soon as I read it.
Yeah, no, that was a beautiful story, and you're right. That last line was spectacular. So, guys, you definitely got to check it out. We got time for one more question. Dina, hit him with a hardball.
In a fight between your main character and a ravenous cookie monster, who would win?
Ravenous Cookie
All day,
Monster.
every day. That's right.
Easily. Oh, yeah. Just normal Cookie Monster would probably win. That's
fair.
frightening enough.
All right.
I mean, he is a psychopathic killer, so I understand. Man, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys check out The Nights I Die Inside Chimera. I hope you check out his other projects too. Matt, thank you so much for joining the show. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me.
I can't believe you hit him with the Cookie Monster, Dina.
You're
I can't
welcome.
believe
That
you
was
did
just
that.
for you.
Yeah, just for you. I knew
it. I loved it. And Amber's excited about it. Jess is excited about it. Everyone's getting excited about it in the chat. Cookie Monsters versus Zombies. Love it. All right, that's going to be our next thing is Cookie Monsters. So here we go. All right, guys. It is time for our sixth and final contributor. Joining us is the author of Color Unknown, Jaecyn Boné. What's up, Jaecyn? And I just want to make sure that I get this correct. You like to go by Charly, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, perfect. So if I mess up your name at any point, we have to have a deal right now. If I mess up your name in any way, you yell at me and you call me a dummy. Are we good?
All right, I got it.
All right, you got my back on this?
You have full permission to do it.
Yes, we do it all the time.
It's very fair.
I'll fit right in then.
So Charly, thank you so much for joining us. And listen, I'm going to make it, can I have full disclosure here? This was my favorite story of the anthology.
Oh my gosh.
This was number one for me. It absolutely blew my mind, ripped my heart out, and made me go, what the hell?
It's absolutely true. He talks about it a lot in the group chat.
Gosh, yeah.
Huge fan.
So much to me. Thank you.
And no offense to other Chimera authors. I loved all your books. She just spoke to me with this one, all right? So don't judge me, don't hate me. But all right, so Charly, talk us through how you came up with this story idea. Where did this come from? Did it come before the prompt, or did the prompt inspire it?
So I definitely came up with the story idea after I saw the prompt. This is actually the first short story I ever wrote to publish, to submit anywhere. And I saw the anthology prompt and I was like, this is the one. I need to write for this. Like, this is my jam. And at the time I was working on a novel in my series, and it heavily had featured mermaids, and I was like, what if I did a twist on my own mermaids for this story? And once I got that down, it was really easy to write it.
So I just wanted to talk about, you just brought this entire world to life, and it's so hard to do mermaids in literature, in my opinion, from what I've read. It's just a very difficult concept to grasp and everything. People always just make it super cringy and cheesy, and you did really, really good with making it just fluid and everything come to life. So I just want to talk about how much time it took you to develop these creatures in that world and everything like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I've been working on this novel, the novel that I mentioned, for 2 years. So it definitely took a long time to flush out how I wanted these mermaids to operate in this world. The sign language aspect and the appearance and their culture definitely took a long time. But once I actually had the idea for this story, I finished the story in less than 8 hours. It was easily the easiest story I've ever written. It just wanted to come out. So.
Oh, good. Now I'm hyper intimidated. She just knocked out a story in 8 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. Just sneezed and it came out.
It needed to be written. It needed to come out.
So I'm going to ask this one because I know there was something that me and Dina have talked about on air. Something about Dina that maybe you don't know is that she's a sign language interpreter. She does a lot of work with signs. So you having a whole story where you're using, sign language or, whatever.
Did you almost say hand language?
Hand language. I almost said hand language. I did. I'm so sorry. I am at my heart a big doofus. But, where did you come up with wanting to use that as a main communication tool? And what was your inspiration for that?
So first off, I feel like we don't see sign language enough in fiction, especially in fantasy.
True.
I can't name a book off the top of my head that has it in it. And when I created my mermaids for this world, it didn't make sense to me to give them traditional vocal cords, because you're under the sea for most of your time. It would make more sense to have a sign language, to have body language, to have that incorporated into their culture instead of talking. It just made sense to me. And I was really excited 100%. To put that into the main focus of a story, because while it does feature in my novel, this, it was the whole language of this story.
Yeah.
I like that you made it so smooth, in the entire world, and everybody was just very accepting of it. And I was like, this is everything I need.
Yeah, it felt just so normal, and that was beautiful. I loved
nobody
it.
questioned it, and like I even had to read like a couple times. Like I think it was the first couple pages. I was reading and I didn't pick up on it at first, and then I was like, Rayart, every single letter, what? And I went back and I was like, oh my god, he's been saying it the whole time. I was freaking out.
No, and that's amazing. So, like, what would you say is like some of the themes, some things that you wanted people to take away from your story, besides for ripping my heart out of my chest and throwing it on the floor?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. So the story is obviously not a happy story, and I don't expect people to feel good after reading it. I definitely expect turmoil. I expect heartbreak. I expect maybe a little disgust at a very specific scene. But I want my readers to take away from this that there's hope. You know, if they end with some tears and feeling hopeful about the future, that's what I want my readers to feel. So, and I've had several people message me asking like, what's the future of Soot and Rayart? And I'm like, do you want to know? And I tell them if they ask, but yeah, it's really cool that people are like feeling the story so much that they want to know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry. So we got time for one more question. Dina, hit us with a hardball. Let's go. What do we got for her?
Questions.
There's no more questions?
What's your favorite form of potato? I'm panicking.
Potato?
Potato.
Oh my gosh. Pancake?
A pancake.
Ooh,
What's a pancake?
Latke. Yeah,
like a latke.
Yeah.
With like some sour cream on there.
Okay. All right. And listen, I'm Jewish. I love the latkes. I'm all about that latke life. So we're good, man.
I don't think
We're good.
Oh, wait. Yes, I have had them. Okay. Good job.
Oh my God, Dina. Unbelievable. Well, Charly, thank you so much for coming on. Amazing story. You can check it out. Color Unknown in Chimera. Charly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Charly.
Whew. That was a whirlwind,
Great job,
man.
you guys.
That was a whirlwind of author interviews right there.
You okay, Daniel?
I wasn't long enough. I want more.
Do we want
That's what
to
she
possibly ask the chat if they have any questions, and maybe if they have specific questions for certain contributors, we can see if they're still around and want to pop back in?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's open this up to the chat. Guys, if you're out here in the chat and you want to have a question, and maybe we can go steal one of these contributors, bring them back on. Let's go. Hit us in the questions.
You can type questions into the chat. Chad and myself are in the chat monitoring it. Also, there is a call-in feature. So if you have a question and you want to call in and actually speak to us, feel free to do that.
So I won't put you on the spot because I don't want to make you angry with all the rest of them, Ashley. But give us the first one that came across your slush pile that you were like, oh my God! Like, what was the first story that caught your eye when you were going through these?
Loomis Creek.
That was the first one.
That was the first one. Yeah, that was the first one, and much like LT Ward's He Wore a Post Smile and Not Meant for Each Other anthology, I knew when I came across Loomis Creek that it had to be first because I felt that it would set the tone for the entire book.
That's a great call. No, hey, listen, it's a tone for the interview, for the book, for all of it, man. And I mean, that's got to be the hardest point. The hardest part is that there's so many of these stories that you could feel like this could be turned into a whole book. If you had to pick one of these stories that you say, I want a whole story, a whole novel written out of this, what would be one that you would say I need to see the novel of?
Color Unknown. Absolutely.
Going back to my dude Charly. That's a great call.
Yeah, I loved that the moment I read it, and like I told him that when I first read that and I saw that signing was in there, and it just was a completely normal thing, that there was no one treating it as if it was abnormal or other or anything less than. And to top it off, it was a beautiful story. I loved it. Yeah, I want more.
I meant to ask Charly if he knew sign language. Was fluent or not.
Oh, Daniel kind of gave you the opportunity to ask a question and then you panicked.
Because we had 3 questions, and I was like, I didn't want to like be like, hey man, here, like,
That's
throw
what we're
you
here
off.
for.
Like, I
we're
didn't
here
want
to we're here to ad lib, man.
So I don't know if there's any contributing authors still around and want to answer this question, but Jess the Mess in the chat has asked for all the contributors, do you plan on being in future anthologies?
Oh, that's a great question. I would love that because I mean, and that has to be the hardest part. Is
You're not the one that's supposed to answer, Daniel.
I'm not. I'm saying, but I'm not answering the question. I was going to say, man, I would want all of them back in for another anthology. So I hope that there's plans for them in the future to join as well.
Yeah, and Steven he's appeared in both anthologies so far, and I honestly think that he'll probably try to submit for the next one.
Ooh. And that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Steven is a legend.
Let's
Matt.
bring in Matt Bliss because Matt's still here.
Desert Folk, what's up, Matt?
What's up, guys? Yeah.
So we had a question from the crowd.
Okay.
Do you plan on being in future anthologies?
I would love to be in future anthologies. You know, as long as Lost Boys Press keeps putting out these cool calls, I'll keep writing to them. You know.
Hey, there we go. So we could look forward to. Oh my God, everyone's coming in. It's a
Sam
whole party.
back. We've got Vincent back.
We've got
question for you guys.
We got Saam Logan. Saam Logan.
Samuel Logan, come on.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just letting it go at this point. So you're never gonna get it.
What do you think, Sam? You coming back for another anthology in the future?
I was definitely super intrigued when they put out the call for heroes. I don't have one like locked and loaded for this one, so I've been thinking about it a lot and been trying to like dive back into legendary texts and stuff like that to see which hero speaks to me the most and see if I can do something with it.
Have you considered?
I don't have anything planned yet, and we're 2 months away.
Have you considered Jar Jar Binks?
Oh my God.
Okay,
Daniel.
I was so on board. I'm not a Star Wars fan, first of all. Like, I mean, I like Star Wars. I'm just not like a super
All
fan.
right, someone kick him out.
But I was so on board.
Oh, Sean, that hurt my heart.
I was so on board with the whole Jar Jar Binks is like the ultimate Sith Lord theory that it was going around.
Yes.
I wanted it so bad. I did. I was disappointed.
Appreciate that. Vincent, join us, buddy. What do you think, man? You in for a future anthology?
Oh, I'm absolutely in for a future anthology. The Heroes one, like Sam said, I don't have anything queued up for that, but it's certainly an interesting idea that's playing around in the back of my mind.
Well, listen, guys, I need you guys, none of you, to apply for this anthology because that's going to really hurt my chances for getting in. So
I'm so intimidated. Somebody please help me.
Yeah, so guys, we need you. The deadline's next week. I'm sorry, deadline's next week.
It's
guys.
not. Oh my gosh. You are not going to keep everybody from submitting great stories just so you could submit all your Jar Jar erotica.
Busted.
Thank you, guys. I wish we could have everyone on screen at once. This is why we had to do, one person at a time. But we also have Steven, Brayden, and Charly on deck to come in and answer the questions. So thank you, Sam, Matt, and Vincent for popping back in.
Thanks again,
All right,
guys.
Thank you guys so much for round 2.
All right.
Man, there's too many good authors, man. I don't know how we find.
I
all
feel
these,
incredibly
it's
lucky.
unbelievable.
It makes
okay.
my job just awesome all the time.
Wait, no,
But doesn't it make it
I know
harder to
that.
pick?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Dina, what do you got? Dina, you're up.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
can hear you.
now that he's back, Charly, are you like fluent in sign language?
I am not, sadly, but I do practice baby sign language with my kids. So I have
yes,
basic
that is so
sign language
good.
that I've been teaching them, which has been really helpful because my oldest has a communication delay, but he, gets his point across with sign language. So
Yeah, it's so good for brain development. Like you can
Yes.
communicate 6 months earlier than with spoken language, and it's so good. Like what it opens up in their brain. I'm sorry, I'm done geeking out. Okay, go ahead.
So, all right. So, since Charly, we've already got you back here. Are you coming back for another anthology? You're going to knock this one out in 5 hours this time?
I don't think I'll ever beat the 8 hours to write that story. Maybe. We'll see. But no, I definitely want to be in feature anthologies. I did submit to Not Meant for Each Other, but it was a story that I'd written for a different anthology. And so it didn't quite fit. And I knew that it wasn't going to get picked, but I was like, you know what? I got to submit something anyways. I got to try. So I submitted it, and it didn't make the cut. But the people who did make it were amazing. Like, I'm blown away by the stories that were in that one.
Like I said, super intimidating. Steven, my man.
He's our repeat guy.
The man that stuck out.
Yeah.
Are you going for the
Yeah,
three-peat?
I'm working on something at the moment. It's around Robin Hood.
Going for the hat trick. I like it.
I have been waiting for a Robin Hood retelling.
At the moment, it's going terribly though, so I'm sort of wrestling with it a little bit, but it will hopefully be significantly improved by the time I go to submit.
Well, you got plenty of time.
Listen, when in doubt, if you don't know what to do, have one character boot
don't do that.
the other character
Daniel,
on the nose.
this isn't
I'm going to
about
try and
you.
squeeze that in now. Specifically, I'm going to squeeze that in.
Thank you, Steven. I will be so honored if that makes it into the story.
I could call the whole story Boop. I'm sure there's something
I'm
there.
renaming my story right now. That's genius. Boop.
Robin Boop.
Robin Boop. Instead of shooting arrows at a target, you just see who can get the
And
person
I'll know
that's
it
accurate
right when
on
I
the
see
nose.
it. And I'll know who to blame when I see it.
This is
We
the
got
call
Brayden
right
back
now.
with us.
Everybody rename your story to Boop. Everybody. All at once.
Got it.
Ashley's going to be overwhelmed.
Everyone.
Stop trying
Yep,
to
all at
sabotage
once.
everyone else. Okay.
That's my brand.
Hi,
Brayden,
I'm back.
are you
I don't
joining the
know,
Boop
I had
Fest?
a technical difficulty there. The Boop Fest, of course. If by Boop Fest you mean submitting to future anthologies.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one.
Well, I
to
mean,
boop.
even after Heroes, the next anthology after that, next year's, is incredible.
See, I meant to...
Are you going to give us any spoilers, any hint, anything
more
for
stuff.
us
So,
people looking
I
in the
actually
future?
had a story in mind for Not Meant for Each Other, but it was too hard for me to write, so I didn't write it. And then this one came out, and I was like, this sounds right up my alley, but I don't know that I'll have time to write it. I'm working full-time and working on, some big stuff. I have a couple ideas. Ashley gave me one idea that she said she doesn't have time to write that I didn't see anyone else jumping on that I thought sounded really.
Are you serious? Are you seriously? Tell me right now.
Idea.
Are you seriously?
So I don't know if I can do that justice. But I have so much more time now than I thought I did. I was stressing. I thought I'd have to submit something by the end of this month. So
Can I tell them what it is, please?
Of course.
It's Medusa and Perseus retelling.
As you mean me.
Yeah.
And Medusa
Yeah.
is would be.
You didn't come
So I think that's a great idea.
I posted it. To be fair, I posted it publicly so anybody could take
God, that's
it.
my fault.
I
that I
know
missed
about
it.
it.
That's true.
My other
I'm
idea,
in, man.
and I don't even know if it fits. My
That's
other
in.
idea is a sort of like Arthurian reimagining of Kal-El if he landed on a red-sunned planet. He grows up as just a guy
Oh,
and ends up just being like a do-gooder leader of men sort of character. I don't know. Again,
I love it.
I was going to say,
And
I don't
so
know
bad,
if I
so
can
let's-
make that work,
sorry,
but
Juan.
those are my two ideas for now. But I have so much more time that I might come up with something else.
All right, so originally, I was joking around trying to get a teaser on what the next anthology after this one is, but now I kind of want to know, Steven and Charly. We'll go Steven first. What are some of the future projects? What are some of the stuff that you guys got coming down the pipeline for us?
I'm considering putting together another short story collection of my own, so which would probably be an out-and-out horror collection. So that's most of the subs. That's not for Dina.
I'm smart.
That's the title of your book is Not for Dina.
Not meant for Dina.
There we go.
For Dina.
Nailed it.
I think we're gonna have to do that on every book in the future that Lost Boys puts out. If it's horror, we just and the
Just do
tagline,
subtitles.
not for Dina.
Yeah.
We'll have Dina trigger warnings in there. So, Charlie, what about you? What do you got in the line
I'm
for us?
actually working on 2 different novels right now. Just kind of, I submitted one to my editor, waiting to get edits back, and then I'm working on the other one. But as far as short stories, I'm looking at several different horror anthologies right now. I just need
I was with you
to
guys.
sit down and write, which is the hardest part. So you'll hopefully be seeing more short stories from me soon.
Cannot wait.
Ooh, all right. Make sure I'm going to like double and triple check I'm following you because now I'm just going to stalk you waiting for stories. So like, I hope that's fine. I mean, Steve and I already stalk you, and I hope that's
No,
okay.
it's
like,
a badge of honor, really, isn't it?
No.
You need
Not
your first stalker as an author.
It's great until he replies to everything you post with something about Jar Jar. Because
Great
that's
until here.
Yeah, I don't know if I
It's
can
great.
handle
I
that.
have
until
no
we
idea what
write-
you're talking
Dude,
about,
that
actually. I
novel.
would never.
that's literally
I
what
would
you've cursed
never
me
do-
with, right?
Engagement's engagement online at the end of the day, isn't it?
Doesn't matter. Got engagement.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So Armanis, Ashley,
I've
this
ruined
one's for
Ashley's
you.
life.
Armanis in the chat. I hope I'm saying that right. Wants to know when the theme for the next anthology will be announced after Heroes.
Oh, well, I mean, I can kind of give a short little blip about it right now, but it will probably be announced sometime maybe in summer next year. And
So we've got
Danielle,
a
shut
Lost
up.
Boys
Let her talk.
exclusive. I'm sorry, Dina. I'm excited.
it is
I'm
called
excited.
Great Wars.
Sorry.
And it is, the premise of it will be literally if you take a war and just change one thing about it, and how does that war change? So basically, what would happen in the Civil War if they rode on large saber-toothed tigers or like
Or dinosaurs.
or dinosaurs?
So in.
Or
Dina's
large
already
desert
sold.
tortoises.
Go.
Dina is already
Chad?
sold.
Chad, large desert tortoises.
Yeah, Chad said tortoises.
Okay, but now that's all I want to. I'm trying to focus on this first one, and now all I can think
You
about is
said the
saber-tooth
H word,
tigers. I don't know what
Ashley.
you need.
Dang it.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
Yeah, Chad said tortoises. Giant
Have
tortoises.
anything to...
For people that don't know what the H word is, it's a drinking game on Don't Make It Weird
Yeah.
podcast where we have to drink every time you say. Okay, here we go. Horse.
Like a. No.
Yep.
Anyway,
Drink.
Charlie,
Yep.
Steven,
All right.
Brayden, thank you so much for rejoining us. I don't think there's
Bye.
any more questions, so
Yeah.
last call for questions is what I would say. But
Man.
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right,
you
man.
guys.
Appreciate you guys so much coming back in for round 2.
Thank you.
What the? Did everyone leave? All right. I don't know what just happened, but everyone got kicked out. No. Okay, so everyone watching live, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happening, but we're getting everyone back in. This is so weird.
I don't know what's happening.
It's kicked you out like 3 times, Ashley.
Yeah, it
Can you
clearly
guys hear
hates
me?
me.
I've I've clicked to admit Daniel like 5 times, and now it says you're in here twice, Ashley. This is
You have to close the other tab.
It's just one of my clones.
Sorry, everybody.
Don't worry.
Weird technical blip there, but we're back.
We are back for a closing round. Appreciate everyone sticking around for us. Hopefully, we didn't lose too many.
That reveal was just too big for the internet. It just.
I guess.
Yeah, just absolutely.
Real quick.
Absolutely killed this, man.
Jess, are you here? Are you back yet? Hold on, I want to see if she answers. Yes, okay.
Jess is
As
here.
she pointed out, we said the F word multiple times when talking about Bigfoot, so.
Oh.
The F word.
Oh, no. FOOT.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to have to do a chug before the next episode because that's going to be way too much alcohol
I'm
to do
chugging
in one.
right now.
Thank you, Jess, for that, by the way.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate that,
For
Jess.
those of you still in the audience, thank you for staying until essentially the end. We do have another copy of Chimera, the anthology, to give out for exclusively for people who are still here and participating in the chat. So if you want to enter that giveaway, please type Chimera into the chat on Riverside.
Should we should probably say this twice, wait a minute and say it again. That way people can get back in.
Yeah.
Sure.
It crashed.
So this is that last ditch competition for you guys that stuck around, that stayed with us until the bitter end, who were part of breaking the app with us.
Jess said this feels
Type
like
in
an
Chimera,
encore
be a
at a
part of it.
concert. I love that.
It is.
It's like we all left the stage, had a drink of water. The
Came
house
back in
lights
to play the
stayed
greatest
down,
hits.
and then we came back out. Yeah.
Oh man,
How's it going, guys?
that's a good idea. Put in the local tiny libraries. I like it. Yeah. Hey, listen, you're in you can be in the VIP room, but not the champagne room. All right,
what
guys.
I've started doing, speaking of tiny libraries, I have started getting all of our guest books, reading them because I also have them on my Kindle, and then I put the paperback copy in the tiny library in my neighborhood.
Oh,
That way everybody shares it.
I'm sure the neighborhood children will enjoy Ghost River.
Oh, hey, Samuel wants you to explain Chimera, Dina.
Oh, Chad's
Because
calling
it makes
in.
the skin crawl.
Let's bring Chad in.
Cad! What are you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, hey, this has been a great show. It's been such an honor to sit here and watch this, and not have to
participate
be on camera.
You have to
and
screw
you guys,
up.
Not even to participate.
Yeah. Who would
And
do that?
You guys have done awesome, and it was so cool to actually see all the authors that we work with, talk about their stories and stuff. So I was like, I have to call in and say that this is awesome. And
I mean,
that's what I did.
Chad,
I think I may have crashed the system though, so I don't know.
So I mean, Chad, do you have a rebuttal for how your fuck squid would do against?
Oh my god!
I don't even remember
This
what
is
monster
it.
it was.
I'm gonna quit.
It was the the mimic
Changeling.
slash changeling. Yeah.
I think Brayden nailed that. I mean,
Fuck squid
Brayden
wins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Daniel always wants me to put the fuck squid against everybody.
Wait. Did I?
We only have so many hours
Was
of the
it
day.
fuck
so-
squid or Cookie Monster?
To be fair, the fuck squid has
Okay.
a lot of arms, so it has in time.
Yeah. That is definitely true. But it was awesome seeing everybody, and I just want to say, hats off to you guys, and hats off to Sean to putting that together. That was so cool. Seamless. Having people come in. So
I still can't believe that
cool.
we got everyone in and out on time. And
Timing was perfect.
Nobody's hardware failed, and nothing went wrong until 5 seconds ago when everyone got booted from the call.
I
for no
am
reason,
sorry. The internet just could not handle the awesomeness. That is going to be great war.
Ashley broke the
Do you
internet.
think we had?
Okay,
too
so
many?
it was
The Civil War on saber-toothed tigers, guys.
this is the last call for the giveaway. Really quick. If you're in the Riverside audience and you want to enter for a chance to win a copy of Chimera, just type Chimera into the chat right
Chimera.
No, it's not Chimera. Okay, speaking of
Okay,
which,
Dina, do you want to take this opportunity to explain the inside
this
joke
is
for
my
the people
moment.
who are out of the loop?
Okay, so upon reading the book series I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore, I saw Chimera written as CHIM, like the combined AERA. And in my head, that changed the pronunciation to Chimera. And it had nothing, like, the Chimera from I Am Number 4 is nothing like a Chimera. So I assumed that it was two completely different creatures. And I pronounced it Chimera for my entire life, I guess. And then when Chimera came out, I saw it, and for whatever reason, I just made the connection, and I was like, Chimera, Chimera. And when Chad Ryan came on the show, I thought that it was pronounced Chimera instead of Chimera, because I'm an idiot, and I'm still going to die on this hill.
She said it like 3 times, and we're like, is she
No,
joking?
I'm still going to die on this hill. It's Chimera.
Wait, say that again?
Also, it's Chiron, not Chiron, for all of you Percy Jackson fans out there, just to piss off even more people.
I'm lost
John
at this
Ortega
point.
will get me.
All right. John Ortega. All right, so we got a winner in the chat, Sean?
I'm working on it. Give me just a moment.
We can talk more if
All
we
right.
need to.
I want Daniel to tell me what his wife was doing with the beeping noise.
She was trying to no, it was the oven. She was trying to reheat something in the damn oven. And I had to
not just the
give her a
oven, but the
little bit-
damn oven.
Chad, can
The
you
damn oven!
Chad, check the Twitter DMs, please.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, listen, last time it was my animals fighting, and this time it was my wife trying to have warm food. So
We need some clarification. You're supposed to type Chimera into the chat, right? Not Chimera.
It like the beeping literally just reminded me of a scene from Office when Phyllis is in like the break room microwaving popcorn as they're trying to have a meeting, and Oscar just loses it. What are you microwaving?
All right, so we do have a winner for the giveaway.
Oh, all right.
Actually, just as a special thank you to the people who stuck around and wanted to enter the giveaway at the end of this, all 3 of you, Jess the Mess, Braden, and Tony Ghost, we're going to give you all a copy of the book.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Let's go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Man, that's hey, thank you. Big shout out to Lost Boys Press for hooking everyone up for being a part of this.
Totally.
We also are going to have a winner on Twitter. I mean, this is pretty much win-win-win for everyone, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Everybody's a winner.
So, Jess, Tony Ghost, Braden, reach out to either at DMIW Podcast on Twitter or at Lost Boys Press on Twitter, and we'll arrange to deliver you your book.
All right, guys. Well, I think we are almost out of time here, so let's get some closing thoughts. Dina, go first. What do you got?
I didn't know I had to close anything. I don't like horror, but you guys did really good, and I'm proud of all of you.
I'm sorry, Dina. I had to do that to you. Chad Ryan, what do you got? What are your closing thoughts for the day?
Yeah, my closing thoughts are this has been awesome, and to all of our contributors and everybody who stopped by to hang out with us for the last hour and a half, it's been phenomenal, and you guys are incredible. You're the reasons why we do this, and I love seeing other writers lift up and share their work and share their stories of how their work is created. That's the kind of stuff that really jazzes me up, and we have some amazing writers in both our anthologies, and I'm super stoked to see what happens next, because there's always a next with us.
Well said,
absolutely. Ashley, what about you?
I am just so happy that I got to interact with the people that, put their hopes and dreams in my hand. It's
I love
it's humbling.
that for
And
you.
it makes me
It's so
feel.
cool. Yeah.
It just makes me feel like I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I could only do that if they were letting me handle their dreams.
And listen, I got to say, one of my favorite parts of not only doing the Don't Make It Weird podcast, but being involved with the Lost Boys Press is just getting to meet so many unique people and personalities from all over the world, all walks of life, and just see that creative process and how they come to these incredible stories. I mean, man, guys, if you haven't checked them out, check out Chimera, check out Not Meant for Each Other. There are so many good stories out there, and I hope that you guys will join us in reading them and taking part. And for everyone that's followed along, everyone who's watching on video, huge thank you, guys. We'll see you all at the next event.
Jazz hands.
Oh.
Jazz hands.